Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of the MHL Podcast. This is going to be a little series we have in the off season, so you guys can kind of get to know the owners and the players behind the teams. Maybe kind of adjust your allegiances based on our personalities, or maybe it'll concrete down the reason why you like a certain team or not. Basically, I'm going to be doing a 6-part series where I go through and interview every single person in the league. The reason that I'm doing it is because I'm the commissioner of the league, the creator of it. I'm the one who kind of decided to put all this together. That's why I'm obviously doing the first one by myself, so that way you guys can kind of get to know me, and that way when it comes time to do podcasts with other people, we won't have to talk about me at all. It'll just be pretty much about whatever they want, or whatever they want to talk about, or answering questions about them and their team and how they like the season, things like that. Relatively, they will be the same questions. We will have a little bit of personality behind them, but for the most part, we're pretty much going to be just going over mini hockey league stuff, and I'm not sure if I'll do anything in the background or what. I might upload it to YouTube, but I don't think I'm going to put any video on it or anything. Probably just be some old footage or something. I'm not really sure, but so basically getting into it. So yeah, like I said, I'm the commissioner. The co-commissioner, the HB Wombats owner is also a commissioner, but I am a co-commissioner. I did create the league. When it comes to pretty much everything, I built it from the ground up, and yeah, that's kind of what pretty much. I mean, really, all I need to say about me. It's just kind of my passion. Editing is my passion. I enjoy hockey and editing and video making. So you put it all together, and what do you get? A mini hockey table. Because it's a lot easier to get 6 friends to each have a team versus teams of 3 for street hockey or something, and it's just a lot. It's a lot easier when you don't have to have so many people, and trying to get people together is a lot, but it just makes it easier. Plus, I can keep it pretty tight-knit to my intimate group of friends, and that's pretty much all I really need to say about myself. As far as like why I started this or like inspirations or anything like that, I don't really have any. I mean, I've tried multiple times to make leagues like this. Like I said, I do enjoy making content. I've always enjoyed making videos. I've enjoyed editing, and it's just been kind of a passion of mine. And then to throw it all together with friends, hockey, editing, stat keeping, like all of that, working on computers, using softwares, like I just enjoy it all. So I'm just looking to get better, and hopefully it keeps getting better. The quality keeps going up, and I'm learning more as we go, and I assume the quality will continue to go up and be better and better. I guess really the only inspiration you could kind of say that drew me into it was I do watch on YouTube. I watch the Mini Hockey League, or excuse me, the Major League Wiffle Ball, MLW. I think that's pretty interesting, and it kind of inspired me. I wouldn't say it directly inspired me, but it was kind of like something I watched and kind of get ideas from and gauge from. So, I mean, it's a completely different game and sport. So, I mean, it's not really the same, I guess. But I guess if I had an inspiration, that would probably be it. Other than that, I really didn't have anything other than just enjoying doing it. So, how did I come up with the logos and names is something that I'm sure many of you are wondering. And by many of you, I mean 2 of you. So I didn't come up with the names or the teams. I came up with the logos. So I had about 8 teams stock. I had 8 different types of teams that were already numbered out. And I told my friends and family everyone who's participating, the owners, to pick a team, and then so I could get a color scheme and then pick a team name. So some of them were very easy. So for me, I did the Hornets. It's a bee, or it's a wasp. Technically, it's technically a hornet, but it's a hornet. It was easy to make a little hornet in the net, looking like he's a goalie. The wombats were pretty easy. I just kind of custom put a wombat together and used I used graphic to design it, and then Kessel Runners, I just took a template of the Millennium Falcon and kind of put that together. But some of the more difficult ones were the flying pucks. It was from one of my really good friends, and she loves flying. So I basically, from the ground up, I did it all by. I wouldn't say I'm artistic, but I'm pretty proud of it. It was like 300 and something layers to put that thing together, and it came out really good. So the flying pucks, I mean, I just kind of threw the pucks and flying together. I gave them some, goggles or whatever, aviation things. And then as far as the Liberty and the Loons, those were also from the ground up, but those were a little bit easier. A loon is a bird, and Liberty, I just kind of took some things that I thought represented freedom. Although instead of a eagle, I don't know why, but I did a hawk. I thought it kind of looked cooler, or it might be a falcon. I'm not really sure which one it is, but I took a clip art of one or the other because I don't know. I was looking for ideas and it looked really cool, and it wasn't really like an eagle. So I kind of wanted to just make it a little bit different, and I kind of really like the way it came out. Definitely not upset about how it came out, but I don't know. It just was a weird one. So basically, they chose the teams, the names, and I kind of put it together. I let them pick where their players all go. I let them decide everything. If you guys are listening to this, it'll be after the season, which means season 2 is coming, and there's lots of big changes that we're excited for in season 2. I'm letting them all pick captains, so that's going to be a nice little detail that goes into it. The captains are going to be changing. We'll see what people stick with certain captains. We'll see if people want to move their captains to different players. There is a stipulation where if you do have the best save percentage in the league for that season, the next season your goalie is allowed to be your captain. So this season the Loons were the best save percentage team. So yeah, their goalie is going to be the very first ever goalie captain, which is kind of exciting. I mean, some players might choose not to change their goalie into their captain. I mean, everyone's allowed to change whatever they want every season. I'm not going to put any regulations on it. I think it's cool to just have everyone have their freedom. But as far as like teams go, I mean, that's pretty much covering that. So another thing that you guys might be wondering is how we do it all. Like, how do we edit it? How is it the schedule created? Getting people around. So it's a process. So it all started with I went through the creation process, and I created the teams, the logos. Then I made a place for us to play at my house, and I tried to adhere the board down, the rink down, just to kind of make it so it's not moving all around. It's a little bit more stable. And then after I did all that, then I created a random schedule. So I used A, B, C, D, E, F, right? And I didn't have anybody particular playing against anybody because I knew there would be kind of slightly varying skill levels. For the most part, I would say it's well-rounded, but I think there's definitely a couple teams that have played a little bit more. Me and my fiance have played a little bit more than the rest, so we definitely had a little bit of an advantage there. But as far as the schedule went, it was completely random. It was a name generator. Everything was put in and at complete random, and everyone got selected, and that's how it went. And I created the schedule all randomly beforehand, and it just ended up turning out how it did. I actually made a mistake, and I put the Pucks versus the Wombats, or whatever seeds they were, I put them playing 3 times instead of 2, which was my mistake, but it's all going to be completely changed next season. We're going to eliminate divisions because I just don't feel like there's any incentive to win or lose if everybody makes the playoffs. So there's definitely going to be some changes. There's going to be the first seed is going to get a bye. The last seed is going to miss the playoffs. And it's basically going to be, you're going to play 10 games. It's going to be a 2-game series versus the same team. I mean, you're going to play every team once, and so everyone will play everybody, and we'll see who stacks up at the top, and the first seed will get a bye, like I said, and the last team is going to, miss the playoffs, unfortunately. It's going to be a lot different this season. I've got plenty of things coming up for people. There's really exciting things coming that even a lot of the people who are playing the game and people who are involved do not know what's going on this season. It's going to be a longer season. There's going to be more episodes. The episodes are going to be more in-depth with the stats and everything. I'm going to, it's going to be a lot different than it was this season. And this was just kind of the starter season to kind of get my legs under it. And it's definitely going to change. I plan on upgrading my, hardware and software. And so, I don't know. There's a lot of cool changes coming, and I'm really excited for it. But as far as creating the schedule, my friends are pretty simple for the most part. There's a couple days where people have a bowling league here or there, or a date night. But other than that, pretty easy schedule. We usually do one day during the week we'll play a bunch of games during that night, and then that'll hold me over for a couple weeks of editing and putting out videos, and then by the time it's time for a new one, we've already had another night where we've played. So it's relatively a simple process. I'm grateful because my friends are pretty easy to manage. I'm sure it would be a lot more difficult if we all had kids, but none of us have kids, so that really helps too. So there's a lot of factors that go into it that allow me to do this. There's a very specific group of people that I want to be involved in this. I don't want just anyone to be in it, but maybe as the time goes on, we'll see if the teams change. Teams might come and leave. Teams might stay. We don't really know. I mean, who knows what the future holds? But I'm really hoping that this core group of 6, at the very least, even if we don't all play, we all stick around and we all still be fans or come look in on some of the days if we can't commit to it fully. But I would like to think that everybody will stick around for a couple more seasons, just because I think everyone has a really good time. I mean, we get together and it's extremely fun. Like, it's not just a fun thing for me to edit in a project on the side. It's just a really fun time, the night where everyone's around and we're all having fun. You might see there's some drinks on screen. We have some drinks. We all just have fun battling each other. There's a little bit of trash talking. I mean, some of my friends are competitive against me, and some of them are pretty relaxed and just happy to get goals, and some people are just happy to hang out and get out of their house. So, I mean, the atmosphere is always really fun, and everyone's really easy to get along with. And it's just like another excuse for me to have my friends come over all at the same time, and my fiance can't even stop me because she's involved in it. So it makes it really fun. And segueing into that, another point that I really wanted to drive home is that a lot of this wouldn't even be possible without my fiance. She's extremely supportive of everything I do. The owner of the HB Wombats in the finals, we did play each other because I do own the Hornets, and it was a good battle. But I mean, we've always played together, and she's always kind of been a little bit better than me, so I was pretty happy to get the win on her. But I think we both played really well. But without her support, man, she supports everything I do. She supports me going out and spending money on this, even though we know realistically it's not going to amount to anything. But she knows it's my passion project, and she's really supportive of it, and that means a lot, because to have somebody that is supportive of you, it inspires you to keep going, and it allows you to make choices. And luckily, we're in a situation where we're allowed and able to make these choices, and I'm able to do this and have fun and enjoy it. And it's just going to continue to get better and better, I hope. I'm learning everything every day about editing and recording, and there's just so much I'm still learning, but that's the fun part about it. And to have somebody that just backs you and supports you all the way through it makes it that much better. Because if I had somebody that was, trying to tell me that maybe I shouldn't be doing it, or it's expensive, or this or that, it wouldn't be nearly as fun. It would be more draining, and I don't know, it would just be more exhausting. I just don't feel like I would be, and I don't think I would be doing it. I don't think I would have the joy and passion that I do to actually, create the videos. So, as far as that goes, there's a couple things more I wanted to discuss. Firstly being my personal favorite things about, not necessarily the games, but about doing the whole process of creating this. So creatively, I just love building and creating things. So making a league, choosing people and logos, it's kind of right up my alley. I've also made board games before, and I like to design things, logos for people. I've done some editing and things in the past for people. So it's just that's my biggest passions, and that's why I love doing it so much. And I just love absorbing and learning. I just feel like everything, as far as logos to generators to elements to the effects to the transitions, I feel like everything got better. I feel like one of my weaknesses this season was audio, so I'm going to try to get better at audio this next season, so everything's a lot better. So my favorite things is pretty much learning and getting better and doing all the editing, but just mainly the main best part about all of this is seeing my friends, because I can't express how much fun it is for me to have everyone over. I throw a hockey game on, whoever's a fan of whatever team. I mean, we got a lot of teams. We got a Wild fan, a Blackhawks fan, we've got a Penguins fan, and a Bruins fan. So we've got pretty much fans of every team. So it's really fun to just throw on a hockey game, have some beers, have everybody over. And the great part is that everybody is involved, and immediately everyone just started taking roles. Like, people would just start keeping stats or dropping the puck or doing the time or doing the score, Like, everyone was just getting involved, and it's awesome to not only have the friends come there and participate, but to then help me out, and make it even easier on me to be involved in doing some of the steps and doing the scorekeeping so we know where we are. Like, all of that is so critical in making everything work easily and flow well. And we kind of had like a really nice system going where everybody kind of had their part when they weren't playing, and everybody was able to participate. And it was really, it was just a really great time. And I just can't even begin to describe how grateful I am for my friend group and how excited I am for the next chapter, season 2, because like I said, I've got a lot of really fun ideas coming, and I'm just hoping to keep making this better and better and continue to enjoy doing it. But now for the moment we've all been waiting for, my personal favorite parts throughout the season. And oh boy, since I edited them, every single one of these videos, I watched them live, I edited them, I stack kept all of them, which, by the way, was insane. I do have a really large document in Numbers, which is basically Excel, of automatic stat trackers where I can plug in data and it just calculates everything I need. But my favorite things in the entire season would definitely be, one of my favorite moments was the flying puck's first goal that wasn't from a goalie. Their center, number 9, was able to score, and that was like a pretty big moment because the pucks definitely struggled a little bit early, but I think they got their feet under them, and watching them evolve and get better was really fun to watch. They won a playoff game even, and I think that they'll be better, and my friend who owns that team is trying, and I think it's just going to... I think there's nowhere to go but up, and I think they're already going up, and it's just really fun to watch that. Another one of my favorite moments was, I guess multiple moments, was the Liberty scoring 3 goalie goals. I mean, hey, if they go in, they go in. Like, no other team had 3. The Kessel Runners had 2, but the Liberty scoring 3 goalie goals was extremely fun for me to watch because I couldn't score a single one as badly as I tried to score one. I was never able to actually get one. It was really upsetting. And then, I don't know, some other moments. I think I had the Loons playing their defensive style was really fun, but I think when they beat me, which, look, I wanted to go undefeated, but I also don't like being a juggernaut. So when they came in, and honestly, my buddy who owns them didn't expect to win, and he came out on top, which is 4 straight goals. It was incredible, and there were some really good goals too. And speaking of the Loons, there was another moment where they went to overtime with the Kessel Runners, and the Loons had this puck, like, they did a chip pass and somebody hit it out of the air somehow, which doesn't even make sense because the sticks are on the ground, and it like bounced off a post and off the goalie's back and in for an overtime winner. That was absolutely insane. Still can't believe that one happened. I think that one was in week 5. But then another one would be the series between the Hornets and the Kessel Runners, which was obviously my series, and you probably heard my cat right there. But it was my series, and the Kessel Runners put up one heck of a fight. I mean, they were only a couple goals away from taking that, and it's always competitive. And my buddy who I play against on that team, he is very, very competitive with me, so I'm really excited to talk to him for a half hour and see how much he can degrade me for a half hour about how lucky I am or something. But seriously, he wouldn't actually degrade me. But we definitely have a lot of banter, and we definitely, we're definitely the two, like, I would say that are the most competitive against each other, wanting to beat the other one, I would say. I mean, I want to beat everybody, but I think it's, when it comes to wanting to beat the other one, it was me versus him. And that game 2 of that series where there was 13 goals and he scored the overtime winner, that was insane. Scoring the tie with 1 second left and then the overtime winner just was an all-time classic game. That's an all-time classic. I mean, some games were fun and some were slower, but that was a classic game. Like, honestly, I couldn't picture that happening again. I just don't see that happening. and my cat is jumping up here wanting love. And then lastly, as far as favorite moments go, I got probably two more here. We got, well, it's not really a single moment, but the way the Wombats score, extremely fun. I like how they shoot the puck in and they tip it off their own players, which the Loons did use. The Loons did that for a while, but the Wombats would just score in such wonky ways and just amazing shots. And number 13 shooting it off the wall and scoring, like, who even thinks to do that? Like, just watching, my fiance who owns that team excel is just like I wanted her to win it all, honestly, a little bit, but I couldn't bring myself to let her beat me. But yeah, I mean, those were pretty much all the best moments. And then for myself, I guess a best personal moment would be obviously scoring that goal with 15 seconds left in the finals was really cool. But I don't know, I didn't really have any personal, like, really, really moments for myself. I mean, that goal was good, but I feel like most of my goals were pretty just throw it to the center and shoot it and score with 19, which not many people were stopping. So maybe next season they'll get a little bit wiser. My center had 16 goals during the regular season, which is kind of insane to think about that. He had that many goals, so maybe the other teams will stop them. I know he had a lot in one game, but still, it was a lot to deal with. I mean, he was very difficult to stop, and I'm pretty accurate with that center shot. So, but yeah, as far as that goes, I mean, the future of the league, the plans, things to look forward to. I mean, I've kind of already covered basically all of that, like in this like monologue that wasn't actually intended to be covered, but I mean, I pretty much went over it all. I mean, I have lots of cool ideas. We're looking like we're going to have the same 6 people for the next season, which is really exciting. But yeah, just looking forward to the future of this league and looking forward to some of these podcasts and getting to know some of the people. Well, you guys getting to know some of the people a little bit more, and them coming on and doing podcasts with me is kind of funny considering, I don't know, I feel like it's just, they're all going to be out of the comfort zone, and I'm here for it. But yeah, as you guys saw, the Hornets took a Season 1 championship, and I'm excited to bring you guys more. But as for that, I don't really have much more. I just want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching and supporting. And yeah, look forward to the next coming season. It'll be a fun one. Looking time-wise, end of 2023 is probably when it'll start rolling out, and probably go into next spring a little bit, maybe a little bit further. I mean, definitely got at least 20 episodes to come out. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.